Now the prince said, "Go and give that sapphire of mine to the little girl who is in a need now." Okay. Now the swallow said, "Then you will become blind if I would do that." The prince said, "No, give my sapphire eyes to that needy girl." Then what did the bird do? The swallow, he plucked out the prince's other eye, and then he swooped past the match girl and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand. The girl cried with joy and ran home laughing. Then Swallow came back to the prince and he said, "As you have become blind, I will always stay with you." The little swallow said that. Prince said, "No, you must go to Egypt." Now the swallow said, "No, I will always be with you now." Now from the next day he used to sit on the prince's shoulder and told him about the stories what he had seen over there. And he said everything was nice. Then the prince said that, "Little swallow, you've been always telling me about the marvelous things, but more than the marvelous thing, I think the most important thing is the suffering of the men and women. Okay, and there is no greater mystery as misery. Fly over the city and tell me what you see over there." Now the swallow flew over the great city and he came back with the report, and he told the prince that the rich men are making merry in their beautiful houses. I mean, they are enjoying in the beautiful houses, but the beggars were still sitting at the gates. And he saw the white, pale faces of the starving children who were suffering from hunger over there. And he also told him about the two little boys who were lying in each other's arms to keep themselves warm, and they were hungry. Now the prince said that, "I am covered with gold, and you must take it off leaf by leaf and give it to the poor." And then from then onwards, leaf after leaf, the fine gold were picked by the swallow. And now what happened? He went everywhere and he used to help the poor and the needy people. And then the prince became grey. Why? Because all the leaf of the gold had gone. And now all the children and all the poor were happy because they started playing, and they said that they had food at that time. But when the snow came, and it was very cold at that time, now the little swallow grew colder and colder, but he did not leave the prince. He loved him, and in fact the prince also loved him. And over there when he was not able to survive more, he was about to die, he just murmured goodbye to the prince and he wanted to kiss him. The prince allowed him to kiss on his lips. And then what happened? The swallow, he fell down at his feet and he died. And at that moment there was a curious crack sound inside the statue. What happened? What had broken the leaden part of the heart was broken into two. Now, what happened next early morning? The mayor of the city was walking around with his town councillors, and they came across that statue. Now, that mayor said that this is so shabby. The statue has gone shabby. Now we shall remove it. Okay. The councillors also said, okay, we should now remove it. And over there he said that the birds are not allowed to die over here, and the town clerk made a note of that. After that, what did they do? They just pulled down the statue of the prince. Why? Because it was no longer useful. It was the art professor. And what did they do? They melted the statue in the furnace. But the workman at the foundry, he saw that the broken lead heart was not melting, so he threw it into the garbage, and exactly where the dead swallow was also lying. Now from the heaven God ordered his messenger, his angel. He said that, "Bring me the two most precious things from the city." Now the angel brought that leaden heart and the dead bird. The god said, "You have rightly chosen the most two important precious things in the city. Now, in my garden of paradise, this little bird shall sing forever, and the golden happy prince will always praise me."